What's going on, everybody? This is Daxon here with Knoxout.org. Today I'm going to be building our kitchen table with my fiance, and basically to get started what we need is some 2x6s. These are 8 foot and we are having 9 of them, and this is the color that she stained it. This will be the top, and then over here we got 2x4s. These are 8 foot as well, and this is the color she picked. This will be like the frame and the side and things like that, I believe. So a few of the things we need is some liquid nails and a caulking gun to use the liquid nails. We need a square or a speed square, it doesn't matter which one. Both should do about the same thing for us. A tape measure, some 2.5 inch screws. I picked the torque head, the star bit screws. I think they're the easiest to go in without stripping. A pen or a pencil to mark with, and one of these is a jig mini kit. I had never used one before, actually. I guess it's supposed to help you angle your screws into the boards for you without having many problems. And then some of these pocket hole screws. These are 2.5 inch. Not sure how many we're going to need, but this is the smallest box they had. Comes in a 50 count, and then of course these are the square bit heads. So, and you also need handy dandy drill of some kind. This is my DeWalt. We're going to be using that. And also two things I have outside that we're going to need is some type of saw. I'm going to be using my miter saw and a table saw. But I think that's about it for now. I might be forgetting something, but I'll go over that later if so. But this is about everything right here. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so one of the first things we're going to do is lay all these down like this. And we're going to be fastening all of these together. So let's go ahead and do that, because this will be the top of our table. Alright, so now we're going to put a little bit of liquid nails on the side to press these 2x6s together. And by the way, we went ahead and flipped these upside down because it'll make it a little bit easier. These sides that you see right now are the sides that aren't quite as good. The bottom sides of these right now will be our top of our table, so just a heads up. Otherwise we'd have to wait till the liquid nails dried before we could actually put our screws in, so we just went ahead and flipped it upside down so we can do it all in one go. I took this thing with the drill bit, and you set it like right here and hold down really tight, and take your drill and start drilling into it a little bit, and then that makes a perfect hole a little bit into your next board, kind of pilots it for your screw to go in here, as well as it kind of sinks your head down into the hole. So now these two boards are together. Alright, so once again we're on the bottom. Went through and we did the first 3 boards, and then we just decided to go ahead and do our pilot holes all the way across. And basically these are sinking in the heads here and going into the other board, and it's these again like I showed you in the start of the video, and it's basically holding all these boards together, and then we'll put our ends on when the time comes. So alright, so once we got all them in and all these boards together, went outside and used the miter saw and cut our 9th 2x6 we have, and measured it from the end of this down to the end of the other one, and it was almost 44 inches. I can't remember the exact measurement, but basically you want this the same length as your end, and it's gonna butt up something like that for the table. So actually, never mind, it will go just like this, not up. It'll be like this, so you actually make your table just a little bit longer like that. So alright, so now we have it stood up against the wall, and it is pretty heavy, but I think overall it looks pretty dang good. Basically what we had done, which I already showed you, is fastened all these together from the bottom, and then from the bottom we fastened these inboards on. But this is what it looks like. standing up, this will be the top of our table. I think it looks pretty cool. Alright, so now we got our 2x4s out here, and we're going to need 8 boards, and the ends are going to need to be at a 45-degree angle. So I have my miter saw here with the help of Mr. Trooper at 45 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and get them cut. So now we have our boards. You can see the top one, it keeps the same slope all the way across. This one's going to be the top one's a little bit shorter than the bottom one, and this is going to make our platform. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 more of these. Alright, so now we have our 4, and this will act as the top of our legs basically for our table. These will be attaching to the bottom of the table, but it'll be the top of our legs. And then we're just going to need to cut 2 more, I believe, of these shorter ones, and that'll be the bottom of our legs then. So now we're cutting some straight boards. These are more of our 2x4s. They're 23 inches long, and we're going to need 8 of these. We've got 4 of them cut so far. The other one over there using as a template. And these will actually go, we'll have our braces at the bottom and braces up top, and that'll be about how tall the table is. So. Alright, so now we got our boards cut. We have 4 of these shorter ones on top, and the same angle is 45 degree. The bottom ones, from the very bottom point to the very bottom point on the other end, is right about 42 inches will work. And then these will have the same angle, so they'll come out a little bit shorter. And then we have 8 of these, which I already showed you earlier. So now we can go back inside and start putting this thing together. Alright, so now I'm going through and I put some liquid nails in between these 2. And I'm putting 4 screws in them to hold them together. These will be for the tops and the bottoms of the frame. Basically, this will actually be flipped the other way. Like, for example, if this is the bottom, it'll be like this. So I'm putting the screws on this side. So that way they'll face down and you won't see the screws and you don't got to worry about covering them up. Okay, so then the straight cut 2x4s that I was showing you earlier, we had 8 of, going through, and we are now liquid nailing and screwing all of these together. So there'll be 4 total once you get 2 of them together, 2, 2, 2, and 2 together. It's similar to these, only but these have their angles, and that's how you put them together, of course. This is 2 sets right here, though. Just like that. So you have 4 of them total with your angles, and then 4 of these straight ones. And these will actually be, they'll set something like this on here, and that'll make the actual legs for your table. Went through and used this. You set it on there like that, and it basically pilots for your screws to go in at a perfect angle to connect to the other boards. I did that on each board, and it was done on both sides. So there's 8 total, and then it'll set up like this, and we will screw it in. Now it's coming together, putting these screws in there on the sides to hold these together. But overall, this is what it looks like. Alright, so now we got this angle board here in the middle. This is going to be part of the support and brace. We cut the ends of these, this end, and then down there attached to that at 15 degrees cuts, but it's really going to depend on how tall you make this, and then how long your boards are is going to be, but it should be right around 15 degrees, maybe 12 degrees. If you have about a normal height table. But now it's time to make the other pieces, so to end up making an X and becoming really strong. Alright, so we're about to finish this up. We had that cross piece going up like this. My angle is a little bit messed up because my saw wouldn't give me enough angle for this one. With that cross piece going like that, Just got to put the one across the floor that's going to lay on the floor, go all the way across. And then this one is going to do exactly like this does, only but it's going to go down like that. It did take a while to get the angles right because my saw, like I said, my miter saw doesn't do, I guess this called for 50-degree angles from some of the plans I've seen online. And my saw will only go to 45 degrees, so I have some problems with that. And but that's where we're getting at, and then everything should be ready. Be able to paint these, use wood filler and fill up these, the ones that are visible, and like on the sides, and then paint back over them, sand them down, everything, and put the top on, and it should be done. Alright, so now the frame is all put together. Need a little bit of wood filler places. Some of the angles aren't perfect, but it's really solid. Still need to add some paint to those middle boards, and then put our top on. Alright, so besides painting those boards down there in the middle white to match the rest of the frame, this table is done. I think it looks pretty freaking sweet. It comes out to be like 9.5 foot. For some reason these 8 foot 2x6s we bought at Lowe's were actually like 8.5 foot for some reason. Pretty cool though. Definitely big, solid. But that's it. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions or suggestions, don't forget to check out my website, www.noxad.org. Thanks for watching.